film writing by starting my own blog, and that was many years ago now, probably pushing 10 years ago now. And it was just something that I was doing as a hobby in my spare time. And from that, I found myself writing for Cineview. Yeah, it is tough to establish yourself, and as a blogger, especially, so I was writing in the Northeast when I was writing my blog. And as we all know, the UK film scene is very much a London-based entity. So really, I wasn't really getting anywhere at all that way. Cineview, having that name behind me, is essentially how I have established myself with film distributors and PR people. So it's Cineview they're writing to or contacting rather than me personally, although I'm noticing that's beginning to change now. One of the things I think that's helped with that is film festivals. So any advice I would have for people starting out in the industry is get yourself to film festivals. Toronto this year opened open press accreditation up more widely than ever. So it gave freelancers more of an opportunity to get involved with the festival. This is a really great way to get experience, to get the drop on films that haven't come out in general release. This is another challenge, I think, for writers at early stages, is by the time the film is out on general release, for the most part, it's too late to start pitching reviews because all of the websites and publications have already got their reviews lined up. So getting yourself to a film festival, if you can, is a really good way of getting ahead of the game, and it also puts your name out there. You can start to make contacts with publicity, with distributors, and you'll find that they will then start coming to you. The other thing that I think isn't always acknowledged is that being a freelance writer can be very lonely and very isolating. Nowadays, most people are writing, they're not in an office with their colleagues, they're usually writing from home or somewhere like that. And so actually just knowing other writers who are at different stages of their career is really useful. And again, film festivals are very good for that, literally having conversations with people while you're queuing to get in. Learning how the film industry works is really tricky and complicated. And these days, there aren't very many people there to help you. I think a lot of it actually comes down to common sense. If you are at a press screening and you sign a non-disclosure agreement or an embargo agreement, then make sure that you don't print your review before the embargo date. And if you do, then you can expect to get into trouble for that. I think that's reasonably common sense. Be careful about spoilers when you're writing reviews, and just be polite and open with people. And my experience is that what you give out, you'll get back. It doesn't mean you're always going to get into screenings, but you need to learn to take rejection with grace and be grateful when things work out and be graceful when they don't. There is an assumption that you know how to conduct yourself, that you know how to pitch articles, and honestly, I'm still working that out. But you learn through trial and error. And I suppose the other thing is that when you can feel intimidated as a new writer, speaking with other more established influencers. Everybody always sounds like they know more about film than you do. And I still feel like that. I still feel intimidated by the people around me. But what you've got to remember is that there's always somebody else that feels intimidated by you. And the more you learn about the industry, the more I think actually you feel like you don't know enough. And you're never going to get there. You're never going to know everything that there is to know. So what you need to do is be confident in what you're doing, be confident that you know your little area, and be open to learning all the time. I think integrity is really important, and you should stay true to your voice. but equally, don't be rigid either. So when opportunities come along that you might not have considered, think about it and be respectful of others' differences as well. What I have seen is that blogging and writing online is a really good way for writers now to start out, and that's how you cut your teeth now. You're expected really to build yourself up, and it's a very saturated market. There's not much money going around at all. I don't know anybody personally who makes very much or any money from this game, so it really is it's a labour of love, but that doesn't mean that you can't work up towards something. I'm really happy where I am at the moment, and I think it's very tempting to think to yourself, when am I going to make it? But my response to that is, if you're writing, you are making it. If people are reading what you're writing, you are already making it. For somebody coming in as a writer and as an influencer is make sure that you respect your peers, your colleagues, use common sense, be polite in your emails, treat this as a job that you might not be getting paid for, but have that sense of professionalism about what you're doing. And the most important thing is write well, and that read a lot, read people you disagree with, read people that you don't like necessarily, but read what other people are doing. And good writing, your writing will improve from that. And if you write well, you will find a home. Be open to suggestions from people. Keep your own sense of integrity. Don't be afraid to swim against the shoal. If you think something is good and everybody else is telling you it's not, then say so, and vice versa as well. And people might disagree with you, but the good people will respect you for that. It's about doing what you love, and if you don't love it, then don't do it. Don't do it for the glamour. That might come, but that's not what we're here for. I'm here for the films, and that's it.